Sharia is a subject considered by many Muslims, but then as a great cause. The paradox, the great paradox, is that a great misunderstanding surrounds the concept of Sharia. In the 14th century, the time of the Mamluk in Egypt, Sheikh Tajuddin Sabki, an eminent theologian of the time, harshly reproached the state for hiring farmers more than 3 years in the army. And the theologian's challenge of a political or administrative decision suddenly takes on a completely different dimension. They say it is the law of the military cabinet. The only law is the law of God. To claim that there is a law superior to Sharia law is blasphemy. While Ibn Khaldun is of a completely different opinion. Ibn Khaldun is one of the most brilliant Muslim thinkers and historians ever. Born in Tunis, Ibn Khaldun lived in Andalusia, Maghreb, Egypt, and Syria. Ibn Khaldun is not in the opinion of Tajuddin Sabki. Ibn Khaldun has a completely different speech, saying, "Theologians are reference persons in the sciences of religion, but they cannot be decision makers for the affairs of the state. State affairs are the responsibility of influential social forces." So, what is Sharia? Sharia is a concept that emerged 2 centuries after the advent of Islam. However, its origin is found in verse 13 of chapter 42 of the Quran. This verse explains the verb shara at the origin of the word Sharia. Shara in Arabic means legislate. The verse says, "He has legislated to you in matters of religion what he has enjoined upon Noah, what we have revealed to you, and what we enjoined upon Abraham, Moses, and Jesus." Establish religion, and do not make it a subject of division. This verse establishes a simple equation. Sharia is none other than religion. In this case, the religion is Islam. So Sharia is really just another name for Islam and nothing else. But religion is a set of beliefs, practices, values, and obligations for the believer, for the free and responsible individual. Does proclaiming the application of Sharia law by a state means that the authorities of that state must impose faith, or impose the practice of rituals, or impose rules of conduct on everyone? Never, because it would be contrary to the principle of freedom of the human being. The historical misunderstanding surrounding this concept of Sharia has other surprising extensions in our time.
أيها المسلمون في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها، أتحبون ماذا؟ تحبون أن تحكموا بالقانون الوضعي الذي هو من نتاج البشر؟ أم تحبون أن تحكموا بقوانين الشريعة الإسلامية؟ الشريعة الإسلامية حل لجميع مشاكلك.
نريد أن نصل إلى الفرق ما بين الشريعة والفقه الإسلامي من جهة، وما بين القانون من جهة أخرى، القانون الوضعي. لكن ينبغي أن يعلم أننا عندما نعقد هذه المقارنة لا نعنى ذلك أن القانون الوضعي أهل لأن يقارن بشريعة السماء، محال، لأن القانون الوضعي صنع بشري، وأما شريعة السماء هي وحي من الله. الذين يضعون القانون الوضعي يخضعون للأهواء، للنزعات، للمصالح الشخصية، العواطف البشرية، الظروف وأحوال تتغير، وهذا لا يجادل به أحد، وبهذا تكون القوانين الوضعية عرضة للتغيير والتبديل، ولا يكون لها مقياس ثابت للأحكام.
The Sharia would therefore be the law of God that systematically opposes the law of man, as thought by Sheikh Tajuddin Sabki in the 14th century. Is it rational to oppose a religion to the traffic code, for example? A positive law that would preserve human life, its rights, its dignity. A law that would preserve justice and fairness. Why would it be contrary to religion? The assimilation of religion, or Sharia, into law is one of the worst misfortunes in the history of the Muslim world. Moreover, some Muslims make astonishing shortcuts, such as claiming that the Quran is their constitution. The Muslim Brotherhood has long proclaimed that. Assimilating religion to a law is absurd. Systematically opposing religion to positive law makes no sense. As the legal scholars say, the law is based on a contract. And precisely the Quran evokes the concept of ahd, or commitment. In this way, the positive law would be a kind of contract, of social contract between the citizens of the same nation. The Quran also speaks of the concept of mithaq, that is, of charter. The marriage certificate, for example, is described in the Quran as a kind of mithaq. So in fact, the positive law is just a form of contract or charter binding the citizens of a state. Citizens of a state are therefore free to agree on the content of the contract or charter that binds them, on the basis of rights and duties. They are free to change this contract or charter according to the evolution of society and legitimate individual and collective interests. So, the positive law, or the law of men, has its place in the approach of religion. And the debate on the opposition between religion and law is a false debate.